and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the KungFu Cup. I say another week, I'm gonna say another edition, really the first week, the first edition of KungFu Cup 2026. I'm of course just VIP with you, and joined by these amazing players and by the people in chat as well. Welcome one and all, welcome one and all. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. As we have returned with a new season of KungFu Cup. Again, KungFu Cup was a weekly tournament last year, and even the year before that. If you recall, it used to be like an intermittent kind of event whenever there was a seasonal or off-season during the WTL. During the World Team League, or actually I think it would actually intermix with WTL to add extra WTL points for the players towards the end of year finals. But again, we are returning here, and SC Boy, they're investing once again into more events, into more StarCraft, especially with the new partnership with NetEase. Again, there's a lot of news coming out from the Chinese scene and from the Chinese community regarding SC Boy, regarding NetEase, with the offline events, with Thunderfire, which of course was at the start of the year, with KungFu Cup, and with other news around the corner regarding continued support and updates and changes to StarCraft. We spoke about that a little bit last time, and we'll be discussing that more in detail when it comes to the podcast, as always. So this week's podcast, we'll be discussing that quite in depth, but otherwise, again, a big shout to SC Boy, to F91 and Xiaose for, of course, running this event on a regular basis, and we are jumping into the quarterfinals. My hair's poofy today. But we are jumping into the quarterfinals here. We're jumping into our next game, going to be on into our first series in towards Solar versus Cure. That's going to be our initial ZVT. Let's go. Let us go. As we get into this, a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much to Pecoeta. Papi guy, Pecoeta. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 15 months. Oh my god. 15 months of support. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy Papi. As we are jumping into our series this morning, in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And this morning, in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. Oh, going for a 2-ranks Reaper opener. For Team Liquid, it is Cure. Here we go, and again, once again, welcome and all to the KFC. The KFC, the KungFu Cup, baby. Here we go. As Cure is opening up with a much more aggressive build. Interesting, opening up 2-ranks Reaper. With this, the goal should be to build a bunch of Reapers and try to contain the Zerg player on a low base count. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is one of the larger maps of the map pool, often is vetoed, and is often, not seen actually in CVTs. So I'm a little bit surprised to see this map make it through the vetoes. The map is very large, is very accessible, and I would say often in a longer and later game this map does favor Zerg players, but I mean that's maybe a reason as to why Cure is being as aggressive as he is this early on. The gamba. KFC is tasty. True. Oh no. Oh, the Korean fried chicken. Share my papi, share them in the chat. As we do have our Reapers on the way, as I mentioned, 2-ranks Reaper. Technically we could throw down a 3rd-ranks in the main and go into 3-ranks Reaper. That is a rare sight nowadays, and again, you almost never see that. We already have the rally towards the natural into the CC, so just 2-ranks. Reaper's going to be sent across the map, and again, the goal is to deny the 3rd. Deny the 3rd expansion, contain the Zerg on a lower base count. One fried chicken. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. Not like this. Not a bad thing to crave every now and then, to be fair. Oh no. As here we go, we have our Reapers on the way, going to be rallying across the map. Likewise, back at him, Solar, he has yet to confirm what's going on. He does make an extra pair of Lings, so we have 6 Lings instead of 4 Lings on the way. Pulls out of gas, setting up for the 3rd. Reaper does poke in, and the Reaper will threaten the mineral line. Oh. So far, Lings are keeping up. More Reapers are being rallied, and the 3rd base is on the way. Solar has hidden that drone. He's hidden the drone at the 3rd location. 2nd Reaper has now arrived. We have an extra pair of Reapers in production. Getting a 4th Reaper, interesting. You typically only go up to 3, and you cap out at 5. And we do have a 4th on the way, just a 4th Reaper, not getting a 5th. And meanwhile, the hatchery has been spotted, and Cure, he will try to force a cancel. As he will stop at 4 Reapers. Without getting a lot of hits on the expansion. Ling's ready on the high ground. The Ling's speed is still on the way, and it looks like he will force that cancel, especially with that fourth Reaper arriving for extra DPS. And Queens, they do try to engage. Here come the KDA charges. And there's a cancel. Ooh, nice pickup. Does cancel the expansion. It kills the drone. Dips into the main base. Link speed is on in 10 seconds. KuRo playing with fire. Yeah, he's playing with fire here. 10 more seconds, or I should say 5. 3 more seconds. Reapers, they trade a little bit better here. Ooh, does miss control. We're gonna get out of here. Yeah, KuRo, he has to pull out. 2 drone kills in total. Pulls away and back at home, switching into his own 3CC 2-on-1. So we have our economic follow-up here. Again, Solar, he's been heavily delayed, stuck on 2 bases that much longer. Ling's going for a counter-attack, and we see an early Roach War. And this makes sense. So basically, this often is seen whenever damage is dealt early on in almost all matchups. But Solar, he has sustained some, I almost said critical, not quite critical, but he has sustained some damage here early on. And his reaction is Roach All-In. He's going for the Roach All-In, he's going for the Roach Rush. Bearing in mind that specifically because of the build of choice, so the add-ons and the production, at least partially, is exposed. So the idea of roaches breaking specifically the natural location of the main will also disrupt the production, will disrupt the racks production here for KuRo. Thankfully, the factory's in the main, thankfully. Checking the vision, Solar, he has not confirmed the timing of the 3rd CC, so he's not fully aware. This could be a 2-on-1, could be a 3-axe, a 4-axe. And here come the roaches. 4 roaches are in production, out to 7. And this can hit quite hard. Because this is a 2-on-1 variation, what does it mean? It means no tanks, right? Factory production is very limited, very, very limited. No tanks, no cyclones. The army comes out into the open. And without defensive bunkers, it's going to be a tough hold. As KuRo sees nothing. The KuRo, he has no vision, no scouting. With his Reaper Hellion, ideally he checks for the 3rd, he checks saturation. And now he's moving out. So now he moves out. But this might be too late. Here comes the all-in. The all-in is coming. And KuRo has yet to confirm. No, he barely will. Okay, now he knows. Now he knows. Back when we need a bunker. We need bunkers, pappy. It might be too late. As the Roach Ravager's on the way. We have 16 more links coming out from across the map. Hellion Reaper caught on the other side. Tries to rush in. Okay, does get him to the other side of the wall. Upgrades are exposed. Bunker is now on the way, but again, this does feel late. The boys are being pulled. Does pull the boys. The wall is being broken. No repair. And no repairs here. And we have nothing in the way in the main. There's no tank. Yeah. Yeah, there's no tank in production. There's no cycle. 1 bunker does finish. And you can see Solar, he's holding onto those things. He's holding onto them, waiting for his moments, now going for the dive. Ooh, Miles connect. The bunker should go down. Nice Hellbat. Okay, the army did finish. Hellbat's more fin. With the Hellbat's links, they have to back up. But that's still 20 SCVs. That's still enough. 20 SCV kills critical damage here at the natural, and Solar, he has done it. He has broken the natural. He's disrupted the production. 2 Raxes, they're up in the air. There's no more Marines on the way. No more orders. There is 1 tank on the high ground. But Solar's now droning. Solar, he's now droning up. He doesn't have to force his way up the ramp. The damage has been done. Solar can chill. You just back off, drone up, get further ahead. And again, unfortunately, even though KuRo had a Reaper Hellion opener, he wasn't scouting. Like, he wasn't being active with that army until it was too late. So he had no vision. He didn't check the main base, didn't check for any tech. Denying the 3rd base was nice and all, but he had to confirm whether there was a Bane bus, a Roach Rush, or just droning. He just assumed that. He assumed he was safe. Solar pulls away. Again, he's already getting up to 3 base saturation. From here, he can just get a 4th base, more droning. Oh, infestation. Okay. So I was gonna say that Solar, he can just get up to 3-base saturation and get a 4th base just for Larva and max out. But no, he's choosing the tech, which means Hive Tech, Ultras. It means the Solar's gonna slow things down. He isn't going for the kill. Technically, what he's doing isn't wrong. It does mean that the game is going to last a lot longer. It means that Cure, he'll have time to try to recover and claim a 3rd, but for the most part, Solar's just getting further ahead. As long as it doesn't lose any bases. As Cure does deny the 4th base. True. Okay. Big pig off. Solar, he'll have to double expand. Hive is on the way. No, 3D printing Colossus. Let's go. Jeez, that was so close. Oh, Bios Connect. Kira's still looking for damage. And again, he at least denied the 4th base at one time, but we need so much more than that. A Solar is double expanding. So the double expansion. Hive is on the way. Up in Hive Tech, Cure claiming his own 3rd. Cure, the correct thing for him to do is to be hyper defensive with most of his army and be active with only drops. Just be active with drops, poke in, prod in, get a couple of drone kills, secure the 3rd base, slowly work towards a 4th base, and hope to try to drag this game out and max. And Solo should be leaving Cure alone at least until Ultras. And because of Solo's lead, he should be able to embrace Ultra Tech before there are too many ghosts. That should be the case. Askear's working on 3-3. Still being active with his drops. Solar, he's already pre-split his army. He's already in position. Just already getting in position. Waiting for those upgrades, waiting for kindness plating and ultra speed. And once he's got his ultras and a handful of vipers, then he can try to break the siege position. He can go for the ByuN clouds, the ultras they can tank. Solar's almost there. Back the army. Scan does reveal the ultra. Viper's not with this, so it's going to be a messy. Oh, no, man, there's one. Never mind. There's one Viper moving in. Oh, we're attacking Prenup kind of splaining. Yeah, 10 seconds too early. 10 seconds too early. Despite that, still takes down 1, 2, 3 tanks. Yeah, it breaks through anyway. It breaks through anyway. Takes down every single tank. It was a messy fight, and again, Solo, he did engage 10 seconds before kind of splaining. So he lost 2 ultras immediately. But it's fine. It's totally fine. It gets into the economy. Solo, he will lose this army, but he did reset the tank count. That's what's important. Reset the tanks. Bouncing in once again. Oh, my shot goes up. D's connection. But there's no backbone here. There's no backbone to the army. The army cannot get away. Link Bane once again into the mineral line. Mule's being shut down. We can head towards a 3rd. Oof. could head towards the third expansion. And again, Curry's just sustained too many losses here. I mean, when the natural was broken, well, like 6 minutes in, I mean, that was almost game then and there. Curry's been relying and hoping that maybe Solo makes some mistakes. Whether Solo has a hard time keeping up with the drops. Hey, he did deny that fourth base at one time, but that's really the only damage that was dealt. And now Solo, he can just back off and do that again. Just back off, build up his Ling Bane. And a Spire on the way, so thankfully Solo's not neglecting his tech. He can start working towards Broodlords and Broodlord Infestor. At least setting up the tech. At least. As mines are being baited out, Lings they flood in. Let's say they hit the mineral line. Still a messy engage here as Solo's not attacking with everything, but the ultras they do force their way through. No major economic damage, but he gets in. Yeah, he gets into the natural. Oh, takes down the final Widow Mine. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Solo does take lead in the series, winding it back again. It all came down to the initial all-in. Kira, he went for a 2-Rax opener, 2-Rax Reaper, and he did well. Remember, he denied the third. He forced the cancel at the third base. He killed 2 drones as well. Like, he had a really nice start, and it kind of forced Solar into an all-in. He went for a Roach all-in. Kira didn't scout, though. He didn't scout. He didn't recheck what Solar was doing after he was forced to cancel the third base. It isn't a guarantee that he goes for an all-in, but it's an option, right? Whether it's a Roach all-in or a Bane bust, these are possibilities after being denied your third base, and Cure didn't check. Didn't check. It was caught with his pants down. GG, well played. And with that, Solo takes the lead in the series, and now we're loading into game number 2. Game number 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg leading the series 1-0, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. Oh, going for the same builds. Going for the same opener here. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Let's go. Let us go. So Cure is going to be opening up 2-Rax Reaper once again, which is perfectly fine. Like I'm not opposed to the opener here. He did achieve a lot of damage, a lot of success last time, but it's all about confirming whether or not Solo goes for an all-in, especially because this build is vulnerable, more vulnerable to all-ins than usual than standard builds, and the reasoning for that is because both Raxes and the add-ons are exposed at the natural. If you break the natural, you break a good portion of the production as well. Oh. As we have our initial Raxes on the way. Curious. This is a slightly different setup, I believe. You have my attention. I don't know if you noticed something. 0 gas. Okay. Gas is now being taken. Are we going for... Are we going for a faster factory or just CC into factory? Because this should be Marines. Yeah, like we have no gas for Reapers. Like the gases are very, very delayed this time. So 2-Rax Marine, not 2-Rax Reaper. I believe this is going to be going for a stronger 2-on-1, a stronger stim timing. Now, there is a big downside to this build. Can you see? No SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout. This time, 0 scouting entirely. Last game, we at least had potential to scout with Reaper Hellion. This time, no scouting whatsoever. The initial Marines can hunt down the Overlord, and this Overlord is going to be exposed. There's no pillar. Yeah, there's no pillar in position. The Overlord has to get all the way back to the center, and it should be hunted down. So a nice pick off here by Cure. And Solo now knows. Solo, he now knows it was 2-Rax Marine. And we'll see if he reacts with a Roach Warren. So far, saturates his natural. He can claim his third. Speaking of, Curie's moving out early on. And he's setting up for the bunker at the third base. So the goal here is to set up the bunker to deny the third. This is a pretty common response, so Solar, he should be aware of this possibility. So here comes that bunker. Yeah, Queens are already getting in position. Marines are revealed. Solar, he should deny the bunker. It's going to be close. No, it's going to be forced to cancel. Oof. Yeah, brutal pickoff. Denies the third base. Successful bunker rush here. The bunker is cancelled. No longer necessary. And Solar is now in a rough position. Very similar to last game, actually. Remember, Solar, he was also forced to cancel the third. But he doesn't pull in the gas. Does not pull in this time. Oh, Solar, he attempts to retake the third. Is going to be denied for a second time. Oof. Drone is killed. And Cure has a massive lead. Cure, he has a massive lead here. Solar, he tries to engage and he should clean up these Marines. It's going to be close. Oh my god. Barely does. Nice macro there out of Solar. Did surround, did subtle step with the ByuN. But Cure has a very comfortable lead. Just getting a third CC, 3 CC, 2-on-1, standard follow-up here. Once again, Cure, he has not scouted the bases. For all he knows, it could be a roach hole incoming. We can see that Solar does pull into gas. But this might just be for Lair first. And it's Banshees this time. Yeah, it's a 2-on-1 Banshee opener. This will be safe against roaches. He's going to be safe. Early Eva Chamber out of Solar. Interesting. This should be for fast +1 carapace. Should be. But honestly, Cure's looking quite solid. Looking good. He's looking good from here. There's that carapace upgrade. That should be done in time for the stim timing. I mean, ideally, it's going to be ready somewhat soon. But again, it's just a very messy opener here for Solar. Very messy. So Solar, he has a lot of joining to do, a lot of recovering to do. Building up into Lingbane. It's still a little bit too soon to tell whether it's going to be a Lingbane Hydra or Lingbane into Hive Tech. That's Cure's just sharking around. Medivacs, they finally hit the field. And Cure, can he deny the fourth? Uh-oh. Banshee comes in the right hand side, does distract. There are 16 links to defend, no banelings, and no carapace. So with one big stim, Cure, he can force a cancel. Oh, stims in. Takes down the tumors. Going for the expansion. Lings try to engage, and there is a cancellation. Massive pickoff once again. Solar just cannot expand. He just cannot expand this game. He had such a hard time with his third, now with his fourth as well. Banshee moves into the other fourth location, denying creep. Oof, does not get the active tumor. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Cure. Was that a kill? Oh, cancel. Okay, that was another cancellation. Again, there's no bailing speed. Solar trying to be proactive, but no, not again. Another cancel. 3 cancels. 3 cancellations at the fourth base. And Solar, there's no other fourth base option. Not with the Banshee in position. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Behind this, Solar trying to take up. Infestation bits being thrown down, working towards Hive Tech. So it looks like Lingbane Ultra. It's a big risk, it's a big gamble, but I mean, Solar, he has to do something. Curie does spot the other would-be 5th base. Denies another expansion. Ah, no. Is that like the 6th cancel this game? Again, there were 2 cancellations at the 3rd, 3 at the 4th, 1 more at the 5th. Jesus. Not like this. Now, as we mentioned, the Hive is almost done, and this should be for... Oh, I was going to say Ultras. Never mind. We're going into Hydras. Oh, yeah. So this is basically main Hydra. Here's reinforcing on the left-hand side. We do have a decent setup here on the high grounds. The idea should be for Cure to kite back the army within range of the tanks. So kite back to this setup. Oof. Yeah, Solo he now spots this. We'll see how he engages, if at all. So far, nice trades. Oh, the Baneys do finish. Oh, Baneys connect. Yeah, Curie did miss control. Solo going for the counterattack, but the reinforcements at home. And Cure defends. Cure he defends. He's moving in. He wants that 4th. Solo just cannot mine, and that's why we have the supply disparity. That's why we have Cure taking a lead, which is a rare sight in ZVT. Cure's just been ahead the entire game. Catching out a couple of workers. Pushing towards the left. Here he is paying attention. Pulls away for a moment to set up his 4th. Oh, catching out free Hydras. Gets 2. Now, Cure, he's running out of bio here. He's running out of Marines. So the tanks are exposed. He needs reinforcements. Instead, he does push on the right-hand side. He's making that choice. To not reinforce that army. There's a decent juggling Bane. Does pull away. Shows some eye shots. Ooh, very nice connections. Ay, ay, ay. Every Baneling goes down, and Cure, he breaks through. He breaks through the main army. At the same time, looks like Solo, he will deal with the tanks. I mean, again, that was the give and take that we saw at a Cure. Can he get into the mineral line? He cannot. Takes down the hatchery, does not get the mineral line though. But GG gets called. Yeah, GG gets called. It's just too much to handle, and Cure ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. A very strong display there by Cure. Solo just could never expand. He could never expand. He could never get his economy up. He had such a hard time getting a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th base. Because that Cure took a massive supply lead, took the massive supply advantage, winding it all the way back, this all just came down to the opener. It came down to the initial cancellation, the initial bunker rush. Remember, it was a 2x Marine opener with a bunker rush across the map. Solar, he went for a delayed 3rd expansion, which meant the 3rd base had less HP than normal. That's why it was easier to cancel, because it was so late. And once that 3rd base was denied, I mean, that kind of set the tone and set the pace for the entire game, where Solar was just one step behind his opponent. Again, it was just playing from behind, late 3rd base, late production, late economy, as he was denied the 3rd base more than once, if you recall. And same can be said for the 4th base as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth. We have a series, and we'll see if Solo can recover. We'll see if Cure can claim it here and now. As we're loading into Game 3, loading into Ruby Rock. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Green Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Once again, 2x Reaper. Okay, I should calm down there. Once again, 2-max opener. Game 1 was 2-max Reaper. Game 2 was 2-max Marine. We'll keep an eye on the gases once again to see if he does go for later gas geysers for Marines or earlier for Reapers. Meanwhile, welcome to Rebuck. Now, as a reminder, last game, after the third base was cancelled, my first assumption was that Solo was going to go for the all-in. He was going to go for a Roach all-in, but he didn't. And one of the reasons why, the map itself. It was a much larger map in the map pool, Winter Madness. On top of that, Cure, he was blindly going into Banshee first, so he would have been safe against a Roach all-in anyway. But again, the map was definitely working against Solar. Here, the map will be working with him if he does go for an all-in. Welcome to Rebuck. Does have a shorter rush distance by ground, earlier gases, looks like 2-max Reaper at a Cure this time, going back to game 1. Back to basics. And we'll see if Cure can deny the third base again. Done so every game in this series so far. But an aggressive response from the Zerg player will hit harder on this map. So now we are going to be opening up. Reapers are on the way. Sending out his Reapers. And as a reminder, this standards go up to 3. 3 Reapers is standard. We'll see if he makes a 4th or 5th Reaper as well. As Solo moves out this drone for it to expand to claim the 3rd. Reaper moves in. And ideally does want a Zergling kill. Does want a Zergling. Behind this, only 3 Reapers, so minimal amount of Reapers. Gets 1 Zergling so far. Checks for the 3rd. Oh, the Queen does zone away. The drone is still hidden. As Sola intentionally does delay his 3rd expansion. Securing himself. Oh. Pulls out of gas. Link speed is still on the way. Cure he rotates over, and Cure he sees no expansion. So he confirms late 3rd. But he doesn't find the drone. Here we go, 3rd base is on the way. So he expands. This time no cancellation. This time there's no cancel. Link speed kicks in, and Cure has to get the hell out of here. He has to race back home. And we'll see if Cure blindly goes to the Banshee again. Ooh, as he gets caught out! Yeah, he's gonna get caught. 1 Reaper does fall. Nice catch here from Solar. Very nice. Catching out a Reaper and pulling away. And yep, there's the add-on swap in towards Banshee play. Oh, Cloak as well. Okay. Getting into Cloak Banshee. So it's going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 Banshee-based build. The downside of this build is that it means that medevacs are delayed. So delayed medevac production in favor of Banshees. This does keep Cure safe against Roaches, but as we can see this time, there's no Roach Warren. There is no Warren. There is no Roach all-in. It is going to be a lair first out of Solar. So much more macro response, which does mean that when it comes to the builds themselves, this is a weaker follow-up out of Cure. Assuming that he doesn't get damage done though. Bear that in mind. Against a 2-on-1, it is common that we're going to be prioritizing medevac production, so there's a high chance that Solar doesn't get spores. He's getting 1 spore in position. This is in position to defend against a Liberator or drop play, not against Banshees in the mineral line. Bear that in mind. The Banshee's revealed. The Banshee's revealed to the Overlord, and now we react with spores in position. Yep, there we go. There's that relocation. Spore in the natural. Spore in the 3rd. Especially with Cloak being researched, I don't think this was worth it for Cure. If Cloak wasn't being researched, then you can make the argument that, like, at least you're getting some value here with the Banshee to kill the Overlord. But, I mean, now this was a bigger investment into the Banshee, and now no damage is being done. Banshee does get a drone. That's one. Ooh, gets two. Okay, 2 drone kills here at the 3rd. Still not quite worth it, but it does get some damage. Cure, he wants the 4th expansion. I believe there are 0 Banelings. Oh, actually, my apologies. This is going to be Ling Hydra. Straight Ling Hydra, no Banelings. Okay. Very aggressive build here by Solar. Very committed. He's going to be vulnerable early on. But Cure's taking his time. Yeah, he's taking too long. He wants that 4th base. He could have achieved this a little bit earlier. But Hydras are amassing. Solar being patient. Very patient here. Hydras are slowly building up. The expansion is going to be cancelled. Nice pickup. He has to pull away. Back off, has to pull away. Solar massing on more Hydras over time. And I believe that Solar should be going for, I mean, we'll see if he goes for a 3-base Solar or if he joins up his 4th base. His 4th is delayed, but he is getting a 2nd Evo chamber. That's usually indicative of a longer game. 2nd chamber, Baneling Nest. Secure is going to be forced back. Again, he cannot deal with that heavy Hydra count, not without tanks. Speaking of, tanks do reinforce. Some more tanks are amassing. Again, ideally, Curie has to gain more grounds. We'll see if we can get within range of the expansion. Setting up in the center. Banelings are not ready. Oh, but he has to be careful. He cannot fight out of range of his tanks. He pulls away. And does pull away. Gases are being taken. This is indicative of a 4th expansion. Actually, yeah. So we should be seeing a 4 CC soon. There it is. Secure a little bit late to siege. Oh. Solar pulls away. What's important is that throughout all this Solar, I don't think he's lost any Hydras, correct? Yeah, he's lost 0 Hydras so far. Lurker Den is finishing. The Lanker's bappy. He's almost at Lurker Tech, and again, Curie has no answer. Not yet. Oof. Yeah, brutal Baneling connections. So we just see Solar coming from behind. He gets a full surround. He's coming in for the surround. Flanks the tanks. Gets 1. Gets 2. It cleans up every single tank. Medivacs, most of them do go down as well. We've got 5 Marines surviving. Nice counterattack here by Cure. He may have lost his main army, but he does find an expansion. It's something. Ah, but Solo's coming. And Solo collapsing in. He will clean up these tanks. There's just not enough here. At this point, Cure is being wasteful. Sure, he denied the 5th base, but it does lose so much in the process. Again, Kure trying to be active. The initial lurkers are finally morphing in. They've arrived. Cure's stuck with Biotank. Like, he has no setup here. He has no Ghost Academy. No Academy, no Marauders. This style was meant to break through earlier. It's not really built to get into a longer game. This composition, I mean. Now we have the Academy. It's so late. No. The tanks. Tanks are exposed. He gets both. Yeah, it takes out both tanks at the same time. Kure, he's not quite able to gain ground. Again, lurkers are in position. The Lankas are ready. Yeah, Solo lunges in. Yeah, jumping into the main. Yeah, it does have in the main base, but alas, Kure is getting called out. Here come the Vipers. Here come the Lightning Clouds covering every single tank. Nice target prime by Kure. He does snipe both of the Vipers. Crazy pickups. But Kure still loses his army. At the same time, the drop in the main base was able to get a gas geyser. 7 drone kills to gain some value. But can never get on top of those lurkers. Or at least shouldn't be able to. Oof. Just dropping back and forth. That is into the main base. Kure is in position. This drop is being annoying at least. Oh, only annoying. And again, unlike the previous games, we saw that Kure, he failed to deny the 4th base. He tried to break through, but again, solely he got away with his build. He got away with a faster investment into Hydras and, of course, early lurkers. The early lunkers, back. Got away with it. Kure, his wing condition here is just turtle up. He's turtling up back at home. Unfortunately, this isn't really the map to turtle. The initial 4 bases are okay, but the 5th base is very exposed. I don't see Kure maintaining a 5th. He's trying. Once again, he's fully walling up. Tanks, Liberators, Planetaries, Sensor Towers. Is turtling up as hard as he can, but it's not really about this. It's about the 5th base. It's about when Kure decides to expose himself and try to expand. At this point of the game, I would want to see Solo go for the Ultra Cavern and the Spire and start getting ready for Broodlords and Ultras and at least tech up in that direction. So he does try to commit in. Does get into the mineral line. Oh, he tries to. The Bailings! They don't quite connect though. Yeah, barely. No, they go for Planetary instead. SCVs do survive. That was close. Kure's holding. Kure's holding on. The workers, they barely did make it out of that. Solo still committing into Ling Bane. It's a very mid-tier army here. Oh, lurkers, they do get in there. They thread the 3rd. Here's they move in. Mass snipes. Oh, catching out almost every single lurker. And nice snipes out of Kure at the same time. Here comes the main army. Once again, going for the mineral line. It does bust in. Getting on top of the tank. Bailings, can they connect this time? Up, he's trying. Going for the army instead. And he trades well. He trades well. 13 SCV kills, denies the expansion once again. And that should just be the name of the game for Solo. Just keep rebuilding, remaxing, and keep knocking down the expansion until eventually Cure runs out of money. As Cure can't even max out. Cannot max out. He doesn't have the economy for it. We just send wave after wave of Link Bane. There is a world where if Solo takes a really bad fight, that might trigger a counterattack, but I mean, there's less of a chance of that happening. Here for the power bomb. Fungal the main army. Goes to cut back well, but again, Link Bane does collapse in. Catching it 1, 2, 3. Two goes and the CC and both CCs. Oh my god. Takes on both command centers. Cure, he still has the main. So it's the main base, still has the natural. Has one left over orbital. And we do that again. We just keep knocking down the base. Until eventually there's nothing to replace it. Eventually. Lurker does distract. Solo's rebuilt. This time we have a decent siege line, okay. Decent line of tanks. Oh no, the Fungal! Fungal does catch some of the Bio. Yeah, catching out the Bio, Link Bane does roll in. Breaks through the siege line, and that's going to be every tank going down. This time no major economic damage, but a couple of SCVs do go down, do fall. And we kill the CC! No! Another CC falls. Oh, bit of an overextension. Solo pulls away, rebuilds, remaxes. And we just keep going. This time we just rallies in. No bailings needed. Yeah, collapsing on the final army. GG gets called, and Solar, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on into the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solo does claim the series. Again, Cure just had a very rough early to mid game here. Winding it back, if you recall, Cure, he was kind of stuck on Biotank. He was stuck on Biotank. Solo was being greedy. Remember, what did Solo do? Solo skipped Bailings. He skipped Bailings, he went purely Ling into Hydra, into range upgrades, into Hydra upgrades, into fast Lurkers, into very late Bailings and very late Bailing speed, and Cure failed to break him. If you remember, there was a moment though, there was a window of opportunity when he pushed towards the the triangular third location, the fourth base, and we pointed it out. We were like, hey, there's no Bailings, there's no Hydras, Hydra production just began, there's only a handful of Lings, he can force a cancel, he can deny, he can shut down the fourth, but he waited for reinforcements, waited a little bit too long, and by the time he pushed, it was too late. Hydras are now popping out, and that window closed, right? The window did close. It meant that Cure, he failed to deny the fourth base, and Solo was able to get away with the greed, able to tech up, able to surround the initial tank army, and was quite comfortable from there. The game lasted like another 7 or 8 minutes, but it was decided kind of then and there, where Solar, he gained map control, he gained the tech advantage, which allowed him to mass expand, take all the bases, build up his bank, and contain Cure on a 4-base setup. And we spoke about it specifically on Ruby Rock. It is very difficult to take a 5th base as a Terran. Very, very difficult, which is why we often see shorter games on Ruby Rock. Claiming a 5th base is nigh on impossible because it's so exposed, it's so isolated compared to your initial 4-base setup. So Cure, he could never expand. He could never get a 5th. GG. GG, well played. With that, Solo does claim the series, and Solo, he'll advance on into the next round to face off against who? To face off against Rogue in the semifinals. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into the semis here. It's going to be a best of 3 between our 2 Zergs. Let's go. Quite rare, to be honest. It is very rare to cast a ZVZ. I'm just dying. but it's quite rare. We often go weeks at a time without a ZVZ, so happy to see it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. As spawning in the bottom side of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the other South Korean Zerg. Also on Team Falcons, it is a Solar. Here we go. We have our ZVZ, we have our fresh series, we have our next matchup here. And again, ZVZ is quite a rare side nowadays. I mean, Zerg players in general are quite rare in tournaments. So to see a ZVZ, I appreciate it. I think the last Zerg versus Zerg we casted was it cerO versus Raynor at Homestray Cup? Was it Homestray Cup where they played against each other? Let's see. I know there was a big major event in the past month where they did face off against each other, and yeah, how do we remember? So it was cerO versus Raynor at Homestray Cup. I think that was the last ZVZ that pops up in my mind. I think there might have been another one semi recently, maybe in the group stage of like yeah, maybe in the group stage of like one of the other big events, like Pigsty. Was it like a ZVZ in Pigsty? Maybe. Let's see. No. No, never mind. Never mind. Oh my god. Hello, Rogue. As we open up hatch gas pool into a macro hatchery. Okay. So Rogue is a very diverse and very aggressive, very chaotic player in ZVZ, much more than all the other matchups. I do appreciate that out of Rogue. Now, typically with a macro hatchery like this usually means Ling Flood. This usually means a Ling Flood, a Ling All-In, very Ling Bane focused. The reason for this is because you have extra larva. You have a lot of extra larva here. Now, the downside of this build, of course, as you can see, is no Ling production, right? We're droning up as much as we can. We have 2 queens on the way. It does mean that against something like early 12 pool or early pool aggression, Rogue would have been in danger, as he has no defensive lings, but Rogue is cutting so many corners here. He confirmed the timing of the hatchery, confirmed it was hatch first, droning up as much as he can, 0 ling production, Solo going for his own standard third base timing. Now, on top of this potentially being a Ling All-In, we do of course have extra SimCity here to easily wall off the natural to go into 2-base play. This is going to be 2-base play, whether it's 2-base Roach, 2-base Muta. Rogue, he stays in gas. That is a tell. Stays in gas, so this is either for a fast lair or roaches. One or the other. It's not a Bane bust. Yep, there's that roach horn, as you mentioned. So from here, this could be a 2-base roach all-in, or we could still go for the lair. But the roach warren before a lair is more indicative of roaches. Rogue, he has 16 lings on the way. He is going for a Ling Flood, but then what's they asked for? Is it just like a handful of roach reinforcements? It's just like a Ravager Ling all-in, I guess. Okay. Here we go. I mean, we did mention this at the start of the game, how extra hatchery does typically mean a Ling Flood, and that's what we're seeing. Now, Sola skipped his main nest. He might just die, to be honest. Here we go. Ling speed is revealed. Here come the mass Zerglings, and Solar, he has no Baneliness, so he has to defend with purely Queen Ling Roach. It's gonna be a tough hold. It's gonna be a tough hold for Solar. Lings, they ignore the third. He wants the queens. Can he get them? Oh, barely not. And he's trying to lure the queens out. Going for the expansion. Doesn't quite get the roach. Remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Solar. Rogue is all in and comes in for the surround. Yeah, does attempt the surround here. And he takes down all the lings, gets on top of the queens. And Rogue, it looks like he has enough. Yeah, he shuts down every single queen. 3 queens go down. Can he get on top of the roaches, though? He barely cannot. Roaches do survive. Rogue, he now starts to drone. Now we have the lair on the way. Rogue, he's backing up so much gas. I was curious. I was like, what is this gas for? I guess it's for the transition. As Rogue is still down in workers, and Solar saves the third expansion, and he's going into 2-base Muta. Okay. Delayed 2-base Muta. True, true. Bear that in mind. He did invest quite early on here into all these Lings, quite committed, quite aggressive. Hasn't achieved too much damage yet. +1 carapace is on the way. This tells us the Solo's going for his own counter all in. Nice round on the roaches though. Very nice round. Saves one. Ooh, one roach falls. But he kites well. Yeah, it kites well. Solo he defends. And +1 carapace is usually indicative of a Ling Roach Ravager all in, as it's an upgrade that applies to all set units, Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers. As Solo, he's not droning. He has no intention of to. He's going for the Solo all in. True, Solo did popularize this a couple of years ago. Back in like 2023, 2022. It's been a couple of years. Here comes Solar. Mutas are on the way, but remember, Solo's all in, and back at home, any spines? Nope, no spine crawlers. No spines to defend. The best is herO can hope for is to focus on the Ravagers, to try to focus them down. But there are just so many roaches. I don't see him defending against this. Yeah, the boys are being pulled away. Solo a little bit distracted. Yeah, he was distracted. Wasted a little bit of DPS there on the Roach Warren. Mutas have arrived. They do get a Roach. And 1, 2, 3, 4 roaches going down. We have to bust into the main. And again, Solo, he was a little bit distracted. But he breaks through the main army, gets into the main base, now going for the mineral line. And this should be critical damage. It should be critical. Oh, the belt! Files ends away. GG gets called. Critical damage in the main base. And Solo, he fights back. He takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very chaotic game 1 here. Again, herO going for the very fast macro hatchery. Again, we assumed it was going to be for a Ling Flood, and it was for a Ling Flood. Solo took a risk, took a chance by skipping the Bailey Nest, so it was a much more difficult defense out of Solar, but he still held well. He did lose all 3 queens, true. Did lose all 3 queens, and that was a brutal loss for Solar, but he did barely pump out those roaches in time, and once he defended, that was game then and there. Essentially, the all-in failed. Yes, we saw herO going for his own Spire, and if Solo was droning, then herO could have had a chance to gain map control, to deal some economic damage, and to recover, but Solo wasn't droning. Solo was going for his own counter 2-base all-in with +1 carapace. Going for the Solo all-in. Solo all-in with Ling, Roach, Ravager, +1 carapace. And with that, Solo does overwhelm. Whew. GG, well played. With that, Solo takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Title Citadel. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons as well, leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Just catching up with the chat. Shout out to Luis GGG. Yeah, there we go. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. I hope you were able to get some ladder points. Luis. Welcome to KungFu Cup. Welcome to KungFu Cup, week number 1 here for 2026. We are in the semifinals. We just, of course, wrapped up with Solo versus Cure. Solo did take down Cure in a best-of-3 ace match, and now we have our semifinals ahead of us. Up next after this series is going to be the upper semis with herO and ByuN. So we got some tearing for you after this. Some TVP. Meanwhile, Hatchcast Pool, standard open out of Solar, Verg likewise doing the same. This time there's no macro hatchery, not yet. Not yet, not this time. So he does pull out of gas. Oh, sorry, it's pulling in, my apologies. I'm getting ahead of myself. And from here, we're just droning, saturating. We're going to be keeping an eye on whether we do pull out of gas, whether we go into an earlier ByuN nest, whether we go for a third expansion, whether we skip the ByuN nest instead, whether we go for an early Evo chamber or early Roach Warren. So eyes on our early setup. Just waiting for link speed. Does it again, going for the macro hatchery. Okay, this time it's a little bit later, I believe. Last time we had an earlier hatchery before the natural was even done. But Rogue is once again going for the macro hatchery, and as you can see here, Rogue, he's holding onto his gas. Last game we invested into link speed, which led into the link flood. This time, no link speed whatsoever. It's looking more like 2-base Roach or 2-base Muta. And this is why Solar didn't go for the ByuN nest. It is very common when you see a 2-base Zerg player, it is very, very common that they skip link speed to preserve that gas to go into a heavier Roaches or heavier layer timing. And that's what we're seeing here. Solar, he might even cancel link speed himself. Solar's claiming his third. There is that 3-minute layer timing. We still don't know for certain whether this is going to be 2-base Roach or 2-base Muta, but both are on the table. Overlord is denied. And Solar does skip his own ByuN nest. Does skip the Banelings, but he will finish link speed. So technically, Rogue is a little bit more efficient, but Solar does have the faster third and should have the better economy. Should. We have our 6 roaches already on the way. Lair is almost done. We have all 4 gases. That's a lot of gas. And it looks like Rogue plans on revealing these roaches, but behind this, do we hide a spire? The answer is yes. Okay, so it's going to be 2-base Muta with fake roaches. So this roach push is fake. Rogue, he's puffing up his chest and he wants Solar to stop droning. Solar, he does make 5 workers. You can see Solar is forced to make roaches. Yep, 5 roaches on the way. Oh, nice catch out of Solar though. Okay. Oh my god, picks up a singular roach, delays the push, and he confirms that there's nothing else on the way. Yep, Solar, he drones. Wow, very nice scouting here. He sees that the army turns back around. Solar, he's back to droning. And again, there's a very high chance this is Mutas from Solar's perspective. Lings, they fail to get in. Spire's almost done. Spire's almost complete. We're going for the Overseer scouts. Overseer's being morphed in. Until then, Solar is still droning, saturating. Lair is now done. Extra gas is being taken. And Solar moves in. It is going to be a bit of a delayed scout here. We could have seen this... no, I was going to say we could have seen this earlier, but an Overlord wouldn't have made it. Solar checks gases. Heads over, and Solar confirms the Spire. He knows. Bam! Hydrogen was already on the way. Already working on Hydras. Mutas are revealed. Solar, he reacts with Spores. And Solar, ooh, he will lose Overlords. Yeah, Overlords are getting caught out. Nice catch here from Rogue. We need to try to respond. Now, if you're curious, the goal here for Solar should just be Turtle. Okay. But it should just be Turtle up. Defend on 3 bases, get Spores, Queens, Hydras. Take our gases. Let's Turtle on up. as Rogue is going for +1 range, sorry, +1 flare attack, and is committing into mass muta. He's committing, saturating his gases. Zergling slips in. It's going to be Lingbane Hydra out of Rogue. Solar, I believe he's got one of two things to do. Either he builds up to a Rogue Hydra timing, which looks like he plans on doing. Didn't take gases, that is indicative of no lurkers. So he's not going into lurkers. Solar, he wants to end the game early. He should hit pre-banelings. It's going to be close though. Solar does move out, knocking down those rocks. Rogue, he spots this, he's aware. Rogue, he's building up as many links as he can. Baneliness is done. Nice catch. Catching at reinforcements. Getting a Hydra, getting a Roach here and there. Delays the all-in. And remember, Solar, either he kills Rogue or he dies trying. Rogue gets supply blocked. Uh oh. Yeah, Rogue gets supply blocked. The Lings, they try to collapse in. Are there enough Hydras? It's close, but it looks like there may just be. Hydras are being focused down. We're down to what, 5 Hydras out of 4. GG gets called. Not enough mutas, I meant to say. It's went down to 4 mutas, and Solar, he overwhelms. He breaks through. He claims the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. I was counting the mutas dying, but I kept saying Hydra. I do apologize. So apologize, but GG, well played with that. Solar, he does overwhelm. He does barely break through with his all-in. Remember, Rogue had a Baneling Nest, but he had no Baneling speed. It was a later Baneling Nest because of the initial build, so he didn't have any Ling Bane to deal with those Hydras. He had nothing to deal with the core part of that army. In the end, Solar snowball out of control. GG, well played. GG, well played. Solar does snowball out of control. He will claim the series 2-0. He'll advance on into the grand finals. And is he up against a Protoss or Terran? We're here to find out. Bam. We're here to find out. Up next is going to be a PvT between herO and ByuN. But congratulations to Solar against some cheeky builds out of Rogue. Both games going into 2-base play. Game 1, he went into a 2-base Ling Flood into attempted mutas, and at Game 2, we saw a 2-base Roach or 2-base fake out Roach all in into mutas, but at last he was shut down. Solar, he was able to build up his 3-base economy and hit his timing very nicely. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are going to be cutting to a short break. We're going to be cutting to a short break here. We have the upper semis remaining and then the grand finals. So Solar, he's waiting the grand finals for either herO or ByuN. We'll find out after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Oh. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the KungFu Cup, of the 2026 KungFu Cup week number 1. We just wrapped up with our lower semis, and we just had Solar. Solar just took down Rogue 2-0 to advance on to the grand finals, and we're here to find out who will play against him. We have a TVP between herO and ByuN, and game 1 is going to be on White Rabbit. Let's go. Let us go. As again, we have seen ByuN have some interesting kind of performances so far in TVP. He has traditionally been a little more active, a little more aggressive, a little more in your face, which I do appreciate, and we'll see if that is the case here in this series as well. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Oh, hello. As interesting, he gets sent out on the right-hand side of the map. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, representing T1. It is herO. Let's go, baby, let's go. As ByuN does move in, again, he does veer off towards the right-hand side, sends out the second SCV, going for the proxy 2 racks. So ByuN, he will commit. He will double down. And we'll see if herO can catch wind of what's going on. herO does go for his own probe scout, and herO will confirm that the Rax is missing. Now, from here, he has to determine, is the Rax in the natural? Is it further back in the main? Is it at the third location, or is it actually being proxied across the map? It's on herO to figure that out. As here, yep, he does check further in the main base. It is not uncommon to hide the Rax in the main. And herO, he will now check the natural. You know, the Raxes are finishing up, getting ready for our Reapers. Yep, does check behind the mineral line. And herO will have to take it seriously. So he did go for the low ground wall off. This is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. First Eldest on the way, walling up. Here come the Reapers. Reapers are going to be en route. Oh, as herO, he almost gets surrounded. Calm down. herO pulls away. Keeps the probe alive, looking for any kind of follow-up, looking for the CC or the factory. And the Reapers are coming. Now, once again, herO did play it safe by going for the safety Zealots before the Cybercore, just so he has something before the Cybercore is done. As he can buy time for the Adept for the Stalker. ByuN does poke in. Pokes into the main. So far, good response, good reaction here by herO. The probe does pull away in time. The probe pulls away. ByuN is tempted to go for the dive. Oh! Doesn't quite kill a worker. Nice control out of herO. Stalker is now out, and so far, herO's holding. So far, so good. Meanwhile, more Reapers are amassing for ByuN. Building on more Reapers. Does catch initial Zealot. No CT battery on the low ground. Bold move. Yeah, no CT battery. ByuN has to pull away. Still making more Reapers. ByuN is still committed, and behind this goes for his factory follow-up. And ByuN so far has yet to kill any probes. Sorry, has killed one. That was a scouting probe, I believe. One worker has gone down. ByuN now expands, but a very delayed expansion. ByuN needs more damage. Oh. Needs more damage here as he has built up into 6 Reapers. That's getting a 7th. So 7 Reapers and only 1 probe kill. It's been a rough start here for ByuN. Has been rough. He's being outscaled. Behind this, we have extra gateways. Firelight Council's on the way, getting to Blink, getting to 3 Blink Stalker. Now ByuN still has potential. He still has the Reapers alive at least. True. Ooh, he gets scored out there. Yeah, brutal force field. Nice warp in his ult, trying to lock down those Reapers. Gets 1. He does catch 1 Reaper, but he'll bleed out 2 Stalkers. Miscontrol out of herO, losing another Stalker. The force field working against him. Ah, no. Messy defense out of herO. Losing 3 Stalkers for 1 Reaper. Very messy. That should not have happened. ByuN rotating into the main. Ooh, the force field does not lock him in the misplaced. I say misplaced. I don't really know if you can even force field that entire ramp. Yeah, it's too wide. It's too wide, back. ByuN slips away. And with that, we can macro. We can get into a longer game stage. ByuN is working on a third CC, a very fast third CC, might I add, to try to recover economically. Bearing in mind that ByuN's natural is very late, so ByuN, he does find some damage across the map, but he does have a worse economy currently, at least until the third base kicks in. Right, the faster third base will help alleviate some of that, some of those economic losses. So ByuN is getting there. Likewise, he did build up into 4 Hellions. He's built to dive into a mineral line. Can he get in? Oh, he thinks about it. Takes on a Stalker, but he will lose a lot in the process here, losing 3 Hellions. Not quite worth it. So we have that back and forth. hero's claiming his own third. Claim his own third base. He does have Blink. He can threaten the main. So far, there's only one tank on the low ground. The second tank is just barely too late. He gets in. Going for Stim. What do we go for? Yes, Stim is going to be denied. Massive pickup. Yeah, no Stim. Third CC has been spotted. Snaps a reactor. Going for the depot. Just getting secure damage. And blinks away. Rear does blink out. So it does get a couple of SCV kills at the same time. I believe the Liberator got across the map. Yeah, it was Liberator. Does catch 3 probes. But again, better trades for herO. herO didn't just kill 4 SCVs, he denied Stim. Again, Stim is heavily delayed as we have to rebuild the tech lab. Yeah, there was no backup tech lab to use. So ByuN, he is stuck. And even though he got a faster TC, he cannot expand. Ooh, a bold move, as we do see herO going for the Dark Shrine. I mean, this can do quite well here, just considering how important mules are at the moment for ByuN. ByuN is muling quite hard. Oh, blinks in, gets a tank, gets 2. Wow, 2 tanks go down. herO standing his ground as there is a backup tank behind this. But once again, he does almost reset the tank count. He cuts it in half, I should say. Weakening any kind of move outs. Some rough losses for ByuN. And he's going for the Academy. That tells us that ByuN, he plans on just turtling. So the Academy's on the way. He's eventually going to try to expand. He has to take it slow. I mentioned at the start of the game that ByuN, he's known for a more active and aggressive style, but he's being denied all of that. Nice Reaper move out. Trades well. Gets 6 probes. Almost 7. Same time, Zealot drop into the mineral line. Does not deal much damage. So decent defense out of ByuN. Here again, he's gained map control. DTs have arrived. Speaking of, we have a DT drop into the main. 1 DT of the third, and there is going to be 1 scan available, soon to be 2. There's the first scan. And main army collapses in, tanks are unsieged. And herO, can he get done? Can he get on top of the tanks? He cannot. Barely cannot. herO pulls away. That's still going to be 6 SCV kills, getting it to 7. Wreaking more havoc, forcing friendly fire. Trading well. And he wants that third CC. He wants it. Oh, he might get it as well. No. Well, 3 more volleys. Trading with the army. Trades with the army instead. And he trades well. Making more Marines. 12 SCV kills. Can he still get the command center on top of that? No shot. One more volley. He gets it. The CC goes down. And ByuN just had such a rough game here. I mean, it all began with the rough and awkward proxy Churax. Did eventually trade and look to recover. The third CC did help, but he never got it up and running. He never got it up. This one he's all in. Going for the Hail Mary play. Going for the drop. There should be a recall. Ooh, not in the main. There's a recall at the natural. As herO does not see this. And we're going for the base trade. Drop into the main. herO he commits, and there are 0 tanks. Yeah, 0 tanks in position. Bunker is empty. Blinking forward on top of the main army. Nice EMP. Nice EMP. Boys are being pulled. herO he commits in. And remember, herO he can always recall at the natural, if need be. Can always recall. As herO he breaks the main, and GG gets called, and herO he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. herO does take a lead in the series. Again, a very aggressive, very chaotic game number 1 here. ByuN, he did start things off with proxy Churax Mass Reaper, building up to 7 Reapers, and he didn't do any economic damage. He eventually traded well with the Stalkers. That is true, he did trade, but remember, right after that, he lost map control, he lost his Hellions, and then Stim was denied. We saw that big moment where herO blinked into the main base, he denied Stim, he was able to pick up some SCVs, and then right after that, he killed 2 more tanks. And what did this mean? This meant that ByuN couldn't push. It meant that ByuN, he couldn't be active, couldn't move out. Stim was heavily delayed, he lost most of his tanks, so he just had no pushing power, and he was just being bullied back at home. Bullied here by the heavy stalker count of herO. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO does claim game 1, and now we're loading game number 2. Let's go. Loading into Ruby Rock. Loading into Ruby Rock here, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran down in the series. Can he bounce back for Shopify? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for T1. It is herO. For T1. Oh, true. Shout out to the herO portrait. Big shout out. herO with his mothership. Yeah. Shout out for NetEase to be able to implement that portrait as well. True, true. I think there was a tournament last week where we casted and literally everyone had the herO portrait on, like including non-Protoss players. Like, it was crazy. Everyone was repping herO. As again, herO, he's been winning everything as of late. We kind of went over it, especially a couple of weeks ago. But herO, he won the RSL offline finals, Thunderfire, KungFu Cup, Lily, OSC Championship. Like, again, he was just ranking up everything. It was crazy. herO, he had an insane December, January, February, until finally he started to slow things down. Only recently. You know what? I'll let some of these other guys win some tournaments. It's crazy. Woody was complaining that everyone had the same herO portrait and it was confusing. What, is it confusing? It's very common when we don't have like a trend like this where everyone's wearing the herO portrait, is that everyone just has Kaczynski on. Like, it's yeah. But yeah, for like the week of its release, like everyone was wearing the herO portrait. Was nice, was nice. For now, we are building up. We do have our more economic opener. Racks expand into a later factory. So economic start at a ByuN. No proxy this time. True, true. I should emphasize that. No proxy, no shenanigans across the map. herO back at home going for his own standard opener as well. Standard opener. herO does move out. I always find it funny when like herO, very often he has like the classic portrait, or not uncommon to see him represent Zest. True. There we go. Twilight Council's done, getting into Blink, standard opener here by herO. ByuN looking to expand, and going to be following this up with a Mind Drop. Okay. Does head up for the Mind Drop. We'll see if herO can catch wind of the Widow Mines. As he has yet to confirm the main. He has yet to scout. Ooh, Shade does get in. Shade provides high ground vision. Doesn't go further into the main though. Pays off a Marine. 2 Marines even. 3? Okay. 3 Marine kills. Extra Stalkers have arrived. Without those Marines, by the way, ByuN, he will lose control of the natural. Okay, does lose control. herO with a handful of units early on, just bullying ByuN back. Ay, ay, ay. The Mind Drop is coming. Mining is denied. And we'll see if herO can react in time. As ByuN breaks out. herO, he kites back. Mind Drop into the main. herO not paying attention. Oh, late reaction. Very late reaction, but 1 probe goes down. Only 1? No shot. That was such a chaotic reaction out of herO. But herO, he trades well. He picks off all these Marines. Just barely making use of that HP. 1 more mine. 2 probes. 2 probes with 2 mines. A nice defense here by herO. At the same time, herO, he killed 11 Marines across the map. Finally. Finally going to be cleaned up, but herO, he's very efficient. Bearing in mind, he didn't just kill those 11 Marines, but he also denied mining for a long time at the natural. As the Little Mine does come back in. Oh, never mind. Quick moves out of herO. Surrounds the mine. Meanwhile, ByuN does catch a 2nd Stalker. Okay. Sorry, a 3rd Stalker. So 3 Stalker kills with that Cyclone. We have a bit of a back and forth. I will still say that herO's had the stronger start. And now he's moving out. Blink is done. Blink is complete. Now he's got his War Prism. Do you see what I see? I see 3 gates at the natural, and I see 1 gate in the main. 4 gate Blink. 4 gate Blink. Hyper aggression out of herO. He's moving out. He's pushing, and back at home, what is it to defend? 1 tank. So far, there's 1 tank on the low ground. We need that 2nd tank as quickly as possible. The main base is very exposed, and ByuN, did he see the gateway count? He did. He knows. He does know. Spots all the Stalkers. Tank is revealed. Rotates into main. Again, there's nothing here. There's just nothing. There's what, 1 Marine? There's 1 Marine. Tank does pop out. Stim is going to be denied, and we've been here before. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, no Stim, no Reactor. Going for another Tech Lab. Oh, we lose 1 Stalker. 2 Stalkers in the process. But does get the Tech Lab. herO pulls out. Nice damage. Behind this, he should be expanding. The Prism did race back home. Interesting. As the auto turret does, or is being as annoying as possible, does harass. herO moving in. Using 1, 2, 3, 4 probes. Not bad. And herO, can he dive? He does see everything with the Observer. I'll see everything. I know the main base is tempting with that tank, but remember there's another tank behind this. Observer gets spotted. herO doesn't dive. He's waiting for an extra warp in and waiting for reinforcements. Oh, that's a lot of Stalkers. He can one-shot, so he can one-shot the tanks depending on the angle. herO, he's going for the dive. He gets 1. Yeah, 1 tank goes down. He kites away. The high ground tank does punish, but the bunker will fall, and there's not much bio here. Yeah, there's not much bio. Denies the 3rd CC. Remember, there's no Stim because of the earlier denial. So heavy delay on Stim. Third CC will finish. herO, he does see an opening. There's only 2 tanks. There's no backup tank behind this anymore. Clicks in. Oh, miscontrol. Yeah, a bit of a misclick. He does focus on the debuff for a moment. So messy micro here from herO. It's getting messy. His third base is late. Remember that. And herO, he fails to break ByuN. ByuN has the better economy, by the way. He's got more SCVs. He's got mules. herO blinks in. Can he get Stim? Oh, he denies it again. No shot. Stim is denied. He's been losing a lot of probes, though. Again, looking at the worker count here, 15 probes have gone down. This is purely to the auto turrets, by the way. herO blinks in, but I don't think he can break through. Not anymore. Does reset the tank count. And finally, snipes the Raven. Yeah, the Raven did F2 back home. So herO shuts the Raven down. Once again, goes for the Outlaws. Once again, delays Stim. No. Yeah, herO is out microing. Out maneuvering. Is that attack lab? That better be. Reactor! Oh god, this... Okay, there we go. Stim is halfway done. Stim is getting into halfway done. We're getting there. But herO can still just out-trade. Again, with no Stim, herO can just keep poking in. Just keep poking. Oh, does bleed out a Stalker there. It does overextend. Charge is now done. Without any tanks, without any bunkers, and with ByuN overextending it, or I should say exposing himself, claiming the third, herO, he can break through. Yeah, he can break through. Blinks forward. In position to deny the third. Containing ByuN on 2 bases even longer. Prism gets into the main. herO rotates down. Cellar drop. There is no bunker. herO commits in, gets 1 Marauder. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Marauders. Nice force field. Locking in the army. He locks him in. And I was a little bit concerned earlier just because herO had lost so many probes, and that has slowed him down, to be fair. He has been slowed down, but now he's getting his fourth base up and running. Storm is almost done as well. ByuN still cannot expand. And herO's been crazy. Storm is done. He's got what's soon to be 3 storms with this army. Yeah, he does have them. Does have 3. Oh, one Temple gets focused down. Storm does graze the army. We got 2 storms left. Down to 1. And nice damage with the storm. Is holding on to it. Trades well against the bio. And denies the third. That's all he wanted. Denies the third CC. Has more High Templar reinforce. Up. Marines, they failed to snipe. It doesn't quite snipe. Storm zones. Gets into the mineral line, cashing out 4 or 5 more SCV kills. And ByuN's just getting bullied, Bappy. Getting bullied. I mean, hey, he finally has Stim. Got like 10 minutes. Ah, no. And now here's going for the kill. He's going for the throats. Going to be collapsing in. He still has 3 storms available. Still has the storms. Oh my god. Brutal storm. Yeah, the storm connects. We have 1 ghost coming in. Nice EMP. EMP lands, but the damage has been done. It doesn't matter. The storms, they aren't even necessary anymore. We just A-move. Boys are being pulled. ByuN getting desperate. He's already lost 20 SCVs. And here is here to end it. Here to end it back. Snipes the Academy. Got Colossi on the way behind this as well. And ByuN can't afford Vikings. That's a kill, not a cancel in the academy. I believe there's one Viking. Yep, only one. Oh god. The double click map. He feels bad, man. Lifted the CC. And with that here, he has to back off. He has to back off, just building up his forces. We got Extendable Lance on the way, +2, +1 armor. Here is almost maxed. And ByuN kind of has one fight in him, kind of. He does have a lot of EMP potential. And that would have been great against the High Templar, but what about the Colossus? The problem here is that there's only one Viking. We got a second Viking on the way. That's not going to be good enough. Just too far behind. Takes down the Templar. Oh, herO overextending. It does overextend. EMP does catch the army, but not the High Templar. Ooh, that was a double storm. A little bit wasteful. herO panicking. Now, calm down, herO. Calm down. As ByuN has finally expanded, but again, ByuN has a very limited army. Very, very limited. herO going for a counterattack, going for a run-by. Disruptor's now in the mix. herO can start to move in. And he should. He's maxed. It's giving ByuN some time. He lures out the army. Zealots are activated. They hit the third. Zealots towards the natural. But again, this feels a little bit mistimed. herO picks in. Up! Oh my god, massive Nova. Nova goes off. It does catch one of the ghosts. SMP. It does get an EMP. Disruptors and Nova's going to be going off as well. Oof, brutal connections. We do have a decent Viking count here, and they will get all the Colossus at least. Yeah, Vikings, they trade well for themselves. But these are trades that herO can afford. As he comes in with reinforcements. Again, that was only a portion of the army. Oof. Nova takes down the ghost. GG gets called, and herO, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A rough early game here for ByuN. Once again, we had ByuN going for, ByuN going for the initial Widow Mine drop opener, if you recall. Went for the mine drop, but back at home, he did lose so many Marines early on to the Stalkers that did slow ByuN down early on. Likewise, the mine drop, we saw an insane defense out of herO. He almost 2 probes to the 2 Widow Mines. He shut down the mines. He was able to wreak havoc with his Stalkers. And then what did he do? He went 4 Gapeling. He went into 4 Gapeling Stalker. With that, he did bully ByuN, denying stim, what, 2 or 3 times. It was crazy how often the tech lab was sniped. The tech lab, the reactors, the production, the tanks as well. The 4 Gapeling aggression from ByuN was insanely successful, and it was a little bit concerning because I would say big shout out to ByuN. His Raven harass was so annoying. So annoying. Killed 15 probes across the map. Very nice Raven harass. Did keep ByuN in the game, but it wasn't enough. That one Raven killing workers was not good enough. In the end, we saw that herO was able to reset the tank count, deny upgrades time and time again, contain ByuN on 2 bases, and herO, despite losing all those probes, took his 3rd, took his 4th, and recovered. Recovered economically while containing ByuN. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. herO does advance on to the grand finals, and we have our best of 5. It is going to be a best of 5 finals between herO and Solar. Let's go. Let us go. Un momento. Team Falcons. Okay, as we have our best of 5 here, we have our grand finals. It's going to be an interesting dynamic here, just because if you know anything about Solar's EVP, he's hyper aggressive. A lot of all-ins, a lot of very aggressive builds. He does often try to avoid the late game, as most Zerg players do. But Hero is also a very chaotic player as well. Like Hero, he can also kind of meet you in the mid game. Unlike some of the other Protoss players that are a little bit more prone to being more defensive and turtley, Hero can do that as well, but he can also be in your face. Let's go. Let's go. Let's find out. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss player himself. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player for Team Falcons. It is Solar. And what a way to start the season of KFC, of KungFu Cup. Again, a big shout out to SC Boy, by the way. SC Boy, for those who don't know, they are the main community figures in the Chinese scene, the Chinese region. They are the main casters, of course, with F91, with Xiao Se, with even guest casters like XY, Maxed, Sugwa, and many others. Sorry, not Sugwa. Oh, God. AI, that's it, AI. Aosono. They're a big part of the Chinese scene, the Chinese community, and it's great to see them partner with NetEase and to bring together the return of KungFu Cup on a regular weekly basis. This is the first edition, of course, the first of many. Currently, I believe the plan is to host 4 weeklies, 4 KungFu Cups, then have 1 week break, and then cast another 4. I think it's either every 4 editions or every 5 editions. But I think there's meant to be like 1 break a month. But outside of that, it's a non-stop KungFu Cup. Of course, SC Boy, they were also behind WTL, World Team League. A shame that we don't have any continued WTL, but we do have the Wardy TV Team League instead, which, you know, does help satiate some of that. We have the GSL CK, which also helps satiate that Team League content. So we have other replacements. Do you have others? You're just being as annoying as possible. Disrupting the mineral line. Does disrupt. So far, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of Solar, nothing looking crazy, nothing too looking wild. And welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. Because it's a larger map, all-ins are less favorable here, so we should not be seeing a 3-base all-in or a 2-base all-in out of Solar, but what we can see is muta play. On these larger maps like Winter Madness, White Rabbit, Celestial Enclave, Mothership as well, that is where mutas can excel. Not saying that we will see that, but it's a possibility. We'll keep an eye on our players. As here it does go for his own Stargate. So Stargate opener, Oracle into a 3rd. I'm assuming it's going to be Oracle based on the rally, but technically this could be a Void Ray opener just to hunt down Overlords and deny vision. I mentioned earlier that Hero is a very diverse player, so he is willing to mix it up. He is willing. Speaking of, good thing we brought it up, as it is indeed a Void Ray opener. Okay. Void Ray out of herO. As we mentioned, the goal here is to hunt down the Overlord. Hunt down the Overlord, deny vision, deny scouting, and to hide the tech. Now, what is scary about a Void Ray opener is that it doesn't have to be hidden tech. It could be Fleet Beacon into Tempest Rush or into Carrier Rush. It could be Fast Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts, or it could be Oracle into a 3rd into a standard game. That's the thing. Like, it could be something more devious or it could be something more standard. It's difficult for the Zerg player to confirm. Now, the one downside of going for a Void Ray opener is you have 1 less Oracle. And Oracles, they're kind of like the bread and butter of ZVP. Oracles are amazing at scouting, at harassing, oh, that's early forge. That's a very early forge, by the way. Into a robo. Interesting. There's a lot that this could be. But once again, when it comes to lack of Void Ray, Oracles do a great job harassing, scouting, defending. They have so much utility in the early game. So not having that Oracle does mean that if Solo went for something more cheeky when it came to his build, it'd be harder to scout and harder to confirm. But with the early Forge, early Robo, and delayed Twilight Council, this looks like one of two things. This could be Fast +1 into Fast +2 into a Fast Colossus build. This is a little bit old school. We used to see this on... Oh god, do you remember the map? Creator and Showtime used to do it. Altitude, that's it. On Altitude, that was a couple of years ago. The other option here is Robo into a Twilight Council into a delayed Archon drop. But no, that's going to be early Immortal production. Okay, and yep, it is going to be the Colossus build. And again, this is an old school build. When was Altitude? That was what, like 2023? It was a good amount of years ago. But it's been a while since Altitude has been in the map pool, but that was when this build was a little bit more prevalent, a little bit more common. It's to build up typically into a quadruple Colossus count. You get a second Robo, you get your first 2 Colossus, then a second set, and then you push out with 4. That's how the build used to work. But it looks like we're seeing a more modern variation of this build just because we have the earlier Twilight Council. Meanwhile, it looks like a German taxi. Yep, I was gonna say Overlord speed is on the way. That is not normal, that is not orthodox. Solar is going for the 2 base all-in. I say 2 base all-in, really it's a 2.5 base all-in. This is under 3 base saturation, cutting workers at 56. So cutting workers early, 4th base just for larva. It's all or nothing for solar. I did mention that this is often not advised on Winter Madness because it takes so long to get across the map. But because of the low Oracle count, herO, he doesn't see this. Oh, okay, he knows. Yeah, he sees a Roach. Sees Roach coming, he knows. It's a late scout. Does catch 1 Roach. But herO back at home, can he defend? Can he hold on? He has minimal units to defend. He does have 2 Immortals though. Is that going to be enough? Adepts, they do bust into the mineral line. Drone's going to be going down. The Queens have arrived. Lings are a little bit too soon here, but they do bait out a Stasis. They're going to bait out 2. Yeah, second Stasis is baited out. Voider goes down. Nice pickoff. The Immortals are exposed. The battery's a little bit further back. And Solar, he may have just done it. He may have just done it here. We have Ling reinforcements on the way. So he breaks through the cannon. Again, he wants those Immortals. As he breaks down a second cannon, there's 1 cannon left. Only 1. At least they can wait for this around. They lock down the Immortal. They get 1. At least they should. Uh-oh. Oh my god, the body blocking though. Okay. Very nice body blocking. Immortal gets saved. Colossus does kite away, but there's no battery. Wow, no shield battery in position. The Colossus barely gets away. Does try to hold the line. A very messy defense here by herO, but he has been broken. Again, 15 probe kills. Crazy damage. The Immortal finally goes down and gets both Immortals. Takes down both. Takes down the mineral line. We have 11 more Roaches on the way. We have Roach speed as well. herO does hold with the Colossus just barely. But his economy has been crippled. He has been crippled. And Solar's getting ready for what? Getting ready for wave number 2. Solar is still only on 54 workers. He's still not droning. You can see here a little bit of saturation. This is not because he's been droning, he's been transferring. As he has been running out of patches. Does transfer over. Another set of Dropper Lords are on the way. Here comes the second wave, the second all-in. Now, when it comes to this second all-in, there's still very limited stack defense. If we had, say, like 3 batteries and 2 cannons at the third, I'd be confident in herO defending. Without the stack defense, I'm torn. I'm less convinced. 3 Colossus can be powerful, don't get me wrong. But through sheer numbers alone, Solar, he may overwhelm. Double drop into the main. Here comes the main army. herO does have the stronger economy, that is true. But then that may not matter. Yeah, it feels like herO thinks that his opponent is macroing. Can Solar surround? Can he land those vials? Ling drop into the main. Out of vision of herO.
I return to serve.
Lings they bust in. Quick reaction by herO, but ooh, he's getting called out. Losing a couple of herOs. Colossus are exposed. Oh no, the Colossus, he gets 1. Yeah, massive pick of 1 Colossus goes down. Yeah, huge win there for Solar. File zones away the army. Lings are wreak havoc in the main. Both Colossus do barely get away. But the third. No, the third is exposed. And the third base should go down. The mineral line at least. Roaches A do pick off another Colossus, down to one. One Colossus left. 22 probe kills. We spoke about it, but the mineral line at the third base does go down. Critical damage. And Solar can just back off and do that again. Just back off, build back up. Shot was dealt with. Solar pulls away. herO doesn't have enough to keep pushing. And again, he's down to 39 probes. It's down to one Colossus, down to two Immortals. He's working on Disruptors. Again, desperation. And here comes Wave 3. Wave 3 of the all-in. And remember, Solar, he still hasn't made any drones. Still a 54. Still a 54. You can see better saturation at the fourth base, but as we mentioned before, he has been running out of patches in the main. So just transferring. Just transferring them from the main base. There he goes off. Ooh, good connection. Good connection with the Nova. The Immortals, they just go to town. Better fight for herO. Uh-oh. Solar overextends. Solar here overextends for a moment, but he does have reinforcements. Gets the Immortal. Yeah, it takes out the Immortal. Biles Connect as well. Gets one, gets two Immortals. And finally, Solar has done it. So he breaks through the Robo units. Only Stalkers remaining. Okay, there's just the one cannon. Not for much longer. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Winning it back. As a reminder, herO went for a very cheeky and very greedy build, very tech heavy, going for the early Forge, early Robo, early Bay, early Colossus. Again, very, very tech heavy, very greedy. And Solar just went for the all-in. He just went for the big 3 base all-in or 2.5 base all-in. herO didn't realize what was happening until it was already halfway across the map. So very late scout out of herO. We spoke about that is one of the weaknesses of an of a Void Ray opener is lack of vision and lack of scouting. So that is a big weak point of going for the Void Ray, and Solar, he just sent it across the map. He just did commit to the all-in. We saw that herO, he was woefully underprepared. He had like one battery at his third, no battery at his natural. He had a couple of cannons which were helping a little bit, but every time the all-in came, he lost every probe at the third. GG. GG all played. herO, he was like treading water, and he survived the push just barely, but he wasn't really living. Like, he didn't really have a suitable economy to sustain himself. GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading the game. Número 2. Let's go. Loading into Ruby Rock. Best of 5? Yes, this is the Grand Finals. Grand Finals, best of 5. As we did mention. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss himself, representing T1. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, we have the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Let's go. Here we go. So here we are building up. Again, we have our hatch gas pool, and we'll see how Solar does deviate. Now, what I'm a little bit scared of here is welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map in the map pool. This is where aggression is favored, and this is where we do expect to see all-ins. They're a little more expected here. Now, because the map is smaller, herO shouldn't be crazy, and he shouldn't go for the fast Bay and the fast Colossus again. Like that, that did kill him in the end. I mean, it was two things, right? It was the greedy build, but it was also lack of scouting. So that was twofold. Players are building up. So again, we should be seeing something safer out of herO this time. Something safer. And we're expecting more aggression out of Solar. So now we have our tech of choice. Based on the pylon placement, should be another Stargate open out of herO. Typically, if you want to hide some tech and go for like a Twilight Council opener or something more hidden, then it would be further behind the main. So the further out pylon does typically mean Stargate. Stargate is on the way. This time we should be seeing more oracles, less void rays. Here's poking in. First oracle's on the way. No void ray. And from here should just claim a third. Claim a third base. Now, something that we do see quite often in this map is for the Protoss player to be the aggressor instead. So there is a chance that herO might go for an earlier Twilight Council. There are some builds where we can see the Council before the third base, or even the Council as the third base starts. So if he goes for the earlier Council, that could be indicative of early Glaive Adepts or early Blink. I feel like early Blink would make a lot of sense here on Ruby Rock, as Roach all-ins are quite common. Oh, there we go. Spirit will claim the third. Oracle pokes in, gets a tumor, gets a drone. Not bad. herO does pull away, sustaining a bit of hull damage. It doesn't quite get the larva. Not in time. It does force a cancel though. And that is an early council. we did bring that up for a reason. So early council out of herO. Again, this is indicative of either glaives or early blink. Early aggression out of herO. What's it going to be? Meanwhile, Lair first out of Solar. He's skipping roaches. Oh, I say skipping roaches. He could still go for a later roach run, but there's no early Evo chamber. This is not Ling Hydra. This is not Ling Hydra. Here's amassing. There it is. Glaive Adepts are on the way. And the lack of roach warren is concerning. It's very concerning. Checking Solar's vision. Solar, he did not see the Twilight Council. Oof. Yeah, he hasn't seen the council. He has not scouted the main base. He's going for a later roach warren. But it's going to be a shaky defense here for Solar. He needs those roaches. Lings they poke in. So far, there's no tell that it's glaives. It is very common to have up to 5 adepts at this stage of the game. It's quite common. We have extra adepts banking up in the main base. They're hidden. Oh, there's no Spore at the third. Yeah, no Spore in position. 5 drones go down. Solar getting punished. And the adepts are building up. Building up as we speak. We're soon to shade across the map. Solar, he is going to have 4 defensive roaches currently. It's not much. And Solar, he confirms. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, Solar, he does confirm. He does see all the adepts. Back at home, extra roach production has begun. He's walling off his natural. Good reaction so far by Solar. Good reactions. There's the wall. Here he tries to get it in. He's going to try to break down that wall. Plenty of roaches are revealed. Here he misses over the queens. He gets one. Yeah, 1 queen should go down. The oracles, they dive on the queens as well. Get 1, getting 2, getting all 3. Yeah, 3 queens do 4. What about the roaches though? Devastation into the main. Dives into the main base. Drones are exposed. Even force the fight. 4, 5, 6 drone kills. Not bad. But we need more. We still need more damage. Oh, we're getting it. 10. 11 drone, 12 drone kills, and Solar's all in. Solar, he's now all in. Critical damage has been dealt. 12 workers have gone down. What do you see? What I see? Pneumatized carapace, Overlord speed, German taxi. We're calling up another taxi, baby. Again, the German taxi was successful in game 1, and now we're seeing it here in game 2. Different scenario, different setup. Remember, because of the early glaives, that means Blink is late. Late Blink, late +1. It means that the main army for herO is weaker. Does have a lot of units though. That's a lot of stalkers warping in. Did have extra gateways. We'll see if herO can survive. So here we go. The queens load up. The all-in is coming. The all-in, baby. Queens, they zone away the oracles. Solar, he commits. Does look just around. Blink isn't done. No, yeah, Blink is not yet complete. While they don't quite connect. I believe we had the contamination earlier. But Blink finishing up in 10 seconds. That's a lot of stalkers going down. Oh, Biles, they do connect with the cannon at least. Queens are a little bit far back. They're now moving forward. As Queens are being focused down, a messy defense, a messy aggression here from Solar. Yeah, herO coming in from both angles, getting a full surround here, and herO he holds. Wow, herO completely cleans this up, catching out every single queen, the Ravagers as well. Blink is now done, and the all-in has failed. GG gets called, the all-in does fail, and herO ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, he was able to deal critical damage with those adepts, killing 12 drones. He forced the all-in, and I was concerned that Blink wasn't going to be done in time, but did finish up. Did finish up in the middle of that fight. He finished Blink, he finished +1 towards the end of the fight, and herO was able to get this around, get the flank, I should say, get on top of the queens. GG. GG, well played. herO does hold, does survive. We have a back and forth. We have a series. We have a series. Now we're going to be loading into game 3 to determine who takes the lead in this series. Loading into Title Citadel. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title, we have the blue Protoss. We have the blue Protoss player himself, representing T1. Tying up the series, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be opening up. Solar a little bit paranoid. We'll expand, and welcome to Title. Title is a larger map in the map pool, larger map, longer rush distance by ground. I will say that the bases are pretty spread out. We have seen a lot of difficulty with players taking and maintaining their 3rd, their 4th, and their 5th base. Usually we try to centralize our bases here on the right hand side to have them all relatively close to each other. It can still be quite difficult though to be that defending player. But we'll see if herO does take a more kind of macro stance. Solar, he has gone for a 2.5 base all-in twice now in this series, and we expect that to continue. I mentioned this at the start of the broadcast, or at the start of the series, I should say. Solar, he is typically hyper aggressive in ZVP, and he rarely macros. Like, it's a rare sight to see macro out of Solar. He's hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive. That's why we've seen nothing but all-in so far. He can macro, don't get me wrong, but it's usually he's forced into it, usually. I wouldn't be opposed to Solar playing standard and getting up to 3 base play, especially on Title. I mean, Muta play is viable here. True. We could see Mutas. We brought it up on Winter Madness. We bring it up here as well. From here we're settling in. Settling in, we're calming down. We do have an initial hatch gas pull. Pulls out of gas. Stargate's on the way for the Oracle opener. Everything's looking normal so far. It's all about that early to mid game. It's all about, you know, what happens when we attempt to claim the third base. Where are we going to be spending our gases? Does Solo go Evo Chamber first, Roach Warren first, or Lair first? Solo has options. That does break in. Breaks in, pulls away. No major commitments, no major damage. Getting one Zergling. Just like last game, we're looking for the Twilight Council timing. Last game was an early council, which did scream either Glaive Adepts or early Blink. It was Glaives. It was successful. I feel like we shouldn't be seeing early aggression out of herO on title, but the crazier things have been done. Lings, they come in for the scout, so they confirm the third base position. Confirms the third. Oh, Evo Chamber first. Okay, Solar, okay. Does go for the early chamber. This tells us what? +1 melee. This is going to be +1 melee into... does Maynard. But +1 melee in towards a Ling Hydra. Stage trap at the main. Baits out the stasis. The Oracle does sustain some hull damage. Does try to go for the scout. Does go for the Evo Chamber. He sees! Yeah, big scout. He does know. Again, early Evo Chamber does stream Ling Hydra. Oh. He does scream it. But Solar, he goes for the Roach Warren, he goes into the lair, he doesn't get links, sorry, he doesn't get +1 melee. He delays it. After the scout. herO, yeah, he didn't see the lair timing, didn't see the Roach Warren. This is where Solar can go for a big hard switch into mass roaches, into an all-in. Yep, there it is, German Taxi. German Taxi, Roach all-in out of Solar. It looks like Solar's doing the same thing every game. That's kind of true, but not. Bearing in mind that the plan for Solar was to go into Ling Hydra. That's why he has the Evo Chamber. The reason why he's not doing anything with it is because herO scouted. Remember, herO, he saw the chamber, so Solar's like, okay, now this isn't going to work. I cannot go into Ling Hydra. I'm going to go for the all-in to try to catch herO with his pants down. So the path to the all-in has been different. But he does see the lair, does see the Roach Warren. herO, he sees signs of what's to come. Does pick up 3 drones. Going for the Queen. Nice pick off. Ooh, Queen does go down. This will weaken the all-in. And here we go. Here it comes. Here comes the Dropper Lord. The Taxi. So he's rallying everything across the map. This time there is no macro hatchery. There's no 4th. And we're cutting workers earlier at 47. So an earlier all-in here. Weaker economy out of Solar. Here he's trying to respond. Throws down a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. herO going to charge. Oh no, we have a charge build. He thought it was Hydras. He thought it was Ling Hydra. This is not ideal. Charge, they'll say struggle defensively. herO's in trouble. This fake out is working for Solar. The fake out is working. We got defensive zealots of all things. Ay, ay, ay. Big brain moons out of Solar. Where's the meme? It's that meme where it's like Solar, he's like, I all in because I got scattered, you all in because you're an animal. We're not the same. Ah no. Zealots are gonna just be completely shut down. I say that we're running out of Lings. Uh-oh. Running out of Zerglings. More Lings have a right to reinforce. 13 probes go down. herO, he had to pull the boys. Getting us over the Queens. Does get 1. 1, 2, 3 Queens go down. herO, can he hold? No shot. The force field. Where are the Ling reinforcements, by the way? Where are they? The Lings, they're not here. They're in the natural. That was a choice that was made. That was a choice. These Lings that could have reinforced the Roach Ravager instead. Instead, they went for the run by. They went for the counterattack. 2 probe kills. This is not worth it. This is not worth it. Gets 4 probes in total. herO defends. Wow, herO, he does defend. Solar's still all in. He's not droning. You can see here it's still 47. Still 47 workers. Still no drones whatsoever. Solar's getting ready for a second wave, a second all in. But unfortunately, it's looking weaker and looking worse for Solar. herO, he has extra immortals, extra archons. Kansas shield, whatever should have done. Against Solar, he was close. Solar, he was so close to breaking this third. He was close, Pappy. He at least crippled the economy. And here comes wave 2. This time with roach speed. True. Roach speed is done. Drop a load into the main. Ling Rum on the left hand side. And the main army through the center. Now to defend, herO, he's got a lot of Archons, Immortals, Prism, he has +1s, maybe +2. It is looking bleak here for Solar, but we'll see how it all comes together. It's got 2 batteries. It comes down to the engage, it comes down to if hero's distracted, Lings, they bust into the main, and the third. Oh, sorry, and the natural. Roaches move in. herO, big reaction to the Ling run by. Uh-oh. Yeah, herO to move out of position. Oracle gets focused down. Here come the Archons. Oof. Yeah, and you can see the Roaches, they just crumble against these 3 Immortals. Is breaking through. I mean, we're running out of Archons, though. Here come the Zealots. And here come the reinforcements. 2 Archons go down. Delayed Zealots. Yeah, so some awkward micro there by herO. And the Lings. Okay. 12 probes. Very nice Ling drop. 12 probe kills in the main. But herO, he retained all the Immortals. He did lose, what was it, like 3 Archons? Let's see. Yeah, 3 Archons did go down. So some hefty Archon losses, but he did maintain all the Immortals. Remember, Solar, he is not droned at all. He actually has been losing workers because he makes an expansion. So went from 47 drones down to 45. I believe he got an expansion. I think he got an extra gas geyser as well. That's where the 2 drones went. Here he scouts the expansion. Now we see Solar droning. He's going to try to macro out of this. He's macroing, Pat. He's crazy. We have not seen this before. That's Solar making drones? Oh my god. I mean, he's forced to, right? The all-in has failed. The all-in did fail. So it's forced to drone up. Behind heavily in upgrades, is working on +1. Meanwhile, we have 2-1 upgrades here for herO. So let's drop into the mineral line. Gets in. herO maneuvering into the bases. Here comes wave 3. the third all in. I mean, Solar's maxed. Solar, he's maxed out. Oh, herO has to be careful with how he engages. This time, hero's in position in the main. Now remember, Solar, he wants herO out in the open. Ideally, herO is pushed. He pushes out into this position, then Solar gets us around. herO doesn't need to be here. He does not need to be here. But it's only attacking. He's only attacking from one angle. Never mind. Biles, they do connect. Oof. Yeah, Biles are connecting. Stalkers, they do get shut down. herO's overextending. He does have a lot of Immortals though, but he needs a buffer. He needs some support. Yeah, Zealots, they do reinforce. Here he has 8 Immortals, and he's breaking through. Yeah, Jesus, that's a lot of immortals. It was a messy fight out of herO. Very, very messy fight. But he breaks through the main army. Breaks the expansion. Remember, the soup does lie. Remember that. The soup is lying to you. Solar cannot engage. Lack of Archons is a little bit concerning. So we built up to 9 immortals. Oh my god. The immortals are exposed. We have to lift. Oh no! Prism does survive, but that's going to be 2 dead immortals. Yeah, Prism goes down. herO overextends, and again, here he doesn't need to be here. He's traded well enough. But hero's forced himself all in. Yeah, here he's going to calm down. He's going to calm down. He's going to back off. Solo taking another expansion. herO, he needs a 4th base. So he pulls away. Again, it was a really rough initiation for the fight for herO, where he just took all the bows to the face. And it's a really awkward game state because both players have a very low economy. Very low eco. herO gets into the mineral line. Nicely done. Takes on 5 drones. There's the recall. Distracts the army. Behind this, hero's working on +3. Again, he has the massive upgrade lead. And herO, he tries to expand. Attempts to expand, Overlord's in position. Again, I would favor herO if he just gets a 4th, but easier said than done. Just get a 4th base and defend, and herO can just snowball out of control, but... yeah, 4th base is denied. Roach run by here at the natural. hero's out of position. Oh, the wall! The wall is wide open. The Artosis pylon as well. Oh my god. Can we deny +3? Nah, not quite. Yeah, not quite. Oh, he's going for it though. Okay. Massive pickup. +3 is going to be denied. Nice snipe there by Solar. Again, herO was out of position. The Immortal's trying to move in. As Biles, they almost catch an Archon. Once again, was close. herO, he defends his main, and herO expands in the center of the map. Less than ideal, but I mean, where else could he expand? As Biles are being dodged. Solar still on a very low economy on 63 drones. He's on 3 base saturation. And we have a couple of Void Rays on the way. Okay. herO just getting whatever he can. Building up whatever he can. Still very tense. Miles went away. Nice time for the Archon. Where's the War Prism? Yeah, without that Prism, the Archons are getting picked off. Archons are getting picked off. The base is going to be going down. Ling run by into the 3rd or into the natural. And the Prism went for the counterattack instead. Oof. And no saving the 4th base. 4th base goes down. And hero's being forced into an all-in. Oh my god, the Biles, they catch 3 Stalkers. All the Biles are connecting. Lings are distracting, and herO, there's no macroing out of this. Now, when it comes to hero's main army, he can still win the fight. Like, he can still win this main fight, but now there are Banelings in the mix. Solar, he's making this army more complex. Adding Banelings, adding more Ravagers. Solar's doing it. He's doing it. And hero's just got 1 fight. He's got 1 fight in him. 1 big engage. Here is built up once again into 9 Immortals, but it's not just about the Roach Ravager anymore. Now we have Ling Bane. And the first Immortal is exposed, gets 1. 1 Immortal goes down, nice pickup. Again, the Prism was out of position. Oh, miscontrol out of herO, misrally. We can't throw away Archons like this. There we go, does save it at least. We gotta lock in, but the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Solar. Solar, he's massing up, he's maxing out. Solar needs to trade. The Archons is low. herO long distance mining. Does commit in. One Archon goes down. Yeah, it takes out the Archon. Banelings, they crash into the Gateway Army. That's a lot of Stalkers falling. And soon it's going to be purely Immortal. Yeah, purely Immortals going for the warp in. Miles, they don't deny the warp in. The Prism is going to go down. No micro, no control. And was that worth it? So we have 9 more roaches in production, down to only 3 Immortals. Yeah, he's run out of steam, run out of army. The boys are being pulled. And Solar, he holds. He holds on back. GG gets called, shuts down the all-in, and Solar, he will take game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, this was very intense, very back and forth. herO had a very impressive defense against the initial German taxi, and he also had a really impressive defense against the second wave. But if you remember, I think it was before wave 3, where Solar was maxing out, and we brought it up at the time. We were like, hey, herO, he's built up to 9 Immortals. Solar wants to fight out in the open. Solar, he wants herO to push out into the open and to get flanked, to get surrounded. herO doesn't need to be pushing right now. We just need to expand. And herO chose not to expand. He chose to go for the counter all-in, essentially. And he barely didn't have enough. He did kill the expansion, if you remember. He killed the center hatchery. But we saw that Solar was taking another base anyway, so his economy wasn't really slowed down too much. And herO, he never got a 4th base up and running. He had a choice to get one earlier, and by the time he tried to, it was too late. He had lost map control. There was the Overlord spreading creep, of course, so he was forced to expand in the more exposed position in the center of the map instead, which is more difficult to defend. And eventually herO got outscaled. GG. GG, well played. Solar does take a lead in the series 2-1, and we'll see if we can claim the series here and now. Let's go. Let us go. Going to be loading into White Rabbits. Here we go. Well, Solar transition. Well, he didn't need to, right? I mean, I guess he did. He did transition his link into Banelings, so he had Baneling support as well, which made for a stronger army. But a very intense game, very back and forth. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1 down in the series. Can he bounce back? Can he force the ace match? It is a herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Let's go. Let us go. So we have our initial hatch gas. Cool. Going for extractor-trix. This allows for a slightly faster hatchery before the probe arrives. So it did go for the 15 hatch. Otherwise, again, Solar, he does have that 2-1 lead. Now, again, so far this series has been hyper-aggressive. Fun fact, every game in this series, Solar, he has gone for a German taxi. He has gone for a Ling Roach Ravager Queen all-in with Dropper Lords. As a reminder, last game, it was a reaction to being scouted. It wasn't the intention. So, again, there was more complexity to that last game, which is why herO had Charge instead of Blink, because he believed it was going to be Ling Hydra. So it's a nice bait from Solar, or a nice response. Here we go. What's it going to be this time? Do we go for a German taxi 4 games in a row? I mean, at this point, why not? I mean, there's a high chance that even if herO scouts an Evo chamber, that he goes into Blink at this point. He just goes into Blink and plays standard, which would give Solar the advantage. We could actually see Ling Hydra this game out of Solar. Could see it. White Rabbit is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. But I will say this center position is quite important. What I mean by that is that the two third base options are on the low ground. So if you can go for an all-in and take control of this high ground elevated position, you can just wedge yourself in between the bases and just commit and break the natural and end the game. We see this a lot in Terran matchups, like TVT or TVP. If tanks can siege up here on the high ground, then they can end the game. Similar with the German taxi. If the queens and the main army can bust in, then they can overwhelm. They can take over that high ground. For now, though, we're just droning. Just droning, just saturating. Perhaps I'm looking for a way in. And it is just going to be that Stargate opener. Stargate into Oracle. Here he moves out across the map. It does move out. Queen's out of position. Getting one. Getting up to two. Two. Yeah, two drones go. Three drones go down. Okay. Does catch a transferring drone. Not bad. Oracle pulls out. And here expands. Now, from here, we're waiting for Evo Chamber, Lair, or Roach Horn. We have the answer, Evo Chamber. Evo Chamber behind the natural base. Now, remember, last game Solo went for this build as well, but he got scouted and he reacted with a German taxi. This time, does Hero confirm? So far, he has not. Again, typically, the early Evo Chamber means +1 melee and Ling Hydra. And so far, it's unscouted. Meanwhile, that's a standard timing of the Twilight Council and Forge. Looks like +1 and Blink. Yeah, +1 and Blink is on the way. Forge, sorry, Evo Chamber is unscouted, so +1 melee, Ling Hydra. Now, there is a niche build where you can go into Ling and Muta. It's very rare though, because very often it's just insanely risky to go Mutas without roaches in ZVP. Oracles, they commit to the dive. The Spore will finish. Gets one queen. Very nice flank. Only one queen goes down, and meanwhile does trade with the Oracle. Nice pick off here by Solar. At the same time, Ling's getting across the map. They're getting on top of the pylon, and Hero is having a hard time here, losing an Oracle and losing control of his third. Another probe. Never mind. So you have more Lings. They do hit him into the bases, catching out another probe. Ooh, Baneliness gets thrown down. Often Baneliness is skipped, but not this time. Getting into Ling Bane, building up his fourth base. Solar is going to be aggressive. It's going to be active. And we'll see what Hero can get done. He can zone away the Zerglings. Queens move forward. Oh, okay. Hero setting up for the proxy. I wasn't really considering an 8-gate here. We have 4, we have 6. Okay, 6 gateways so far. This should be a proxy. No, okay, that's already 6. Is this just a harass? Do we intend to commit even harder? I feel like it's quite awkward to 8-gate from this position. We'll see. Oh. A lot of Zerglings are falling. Here comes the aggressive Warband across the map. Hero's pushing. Here it does break out. And can Hero break this expansion? Hydra production has begun. Solar needs time. And he's a little bit more time here. Flash transfuse. Another transfuse lands. But the Hydras are a little bit too late. Yeah, late Hydras. Lings also out of position. Solar, he's racing back home to defend. And the Queens are falling one after the other. Massive damage here from herO. Takes down, what, 3 Queens? Picks off a couple of Hydras. Kai's back against the Zerglings. But Solar's holding. Solar, he's holding on. No critical damage yet. Once again, Solar going for the counterattack. Bold move. herO's all in, by the way. herO, he didn't take his gases. He didn't get a 4th base. herO's completely all in. And Solar trying to force a defensive warp in. And the Hydras are holding their own. True. Hydras, they defend. Lings, they bust into the natural. Probes are going to go down. herO can't afford these losses. herO can't afford this. Oh my god, losing everything at the natural. The +1 melee Lings back. And look at the Hydra count. Solar's fine. Yeah, Solar, he should be fine here. He cripbles the economy. That Ling run by is winning in this game. 15 probe kills. herO, he can't sustain this. He cannot sustain this. Not anymore. And again, a unique build. This was a 6-gate 3-base all-in with +1. Which I guess makes or explains why we had less gateways for the upgrades. And again, here he was close. He reset the queen count. He caught out the queens. Solar was out of position. Solar goes for another run by. Deja vu. We've been here before. And again, hero's army is getting smaller and smaller over time. Because here he has no economy. We got more stalkers. Yeah, 3 stalkers going down. Cybercore gets sniped. Massive pickoff. Only Zealot reinforcements. Charge just now begins. Soul's got a 4th. He's got a 4th base fully operational. He was able to drone up, saturate. Solar getting ready for his own Baneling run by in the midst of all of this. Crazy. And technically we saw Solar get a 4th base and drone a little bit, so we you can count that a little bit as macro. Oh, nice warp ins. Here he defends well. But again, he's just running out of stalkers, getting caught out. Baneling run by is denied. And here he's got Solar going for the surround. He comes in from behind, forces the recall. Here he gets one, takes down 1 stalker, cleans up the proxy. And now Solar's gained map control. He's gained map control, he's moving out across the map, +2 melees on the way. Here he's stuck with a gateway composition. Remember, no splash damage. Why is there no splash damage? Because it was an all-in, right? Like here, he never intended for the game to last this long. He was meant to kill Solar earlier and he failed to do so. And with the all-in failing, I mean, there's a reason why it's called all-in. Here he's down to almost, what, half the supply. He has no army. He has no economy. Spanish roll into the natural. Main army towards the 3rd base. Here, no reaction, Nana. No reaction. 20 probes go down. And Solar, he has done it. He has done it. And again, we saw a little bit of macro here out of Solar in the final game of the series. We saw some Ling Hydra play. We finally got there. It was herO going for the all-in instead. So still a short series. An all-in every single game. And with that, Solar, he has done it. Killed the 3rd, crippled the economy, 18 probes left. Again, that's nothing. Only 18 workers. And with that, GG gets called. GG gets called. Solar, he will claim the series 3-1, becoming the very first KungFu Cup champion of 2026. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations to Solar. He does claim the series, does take down herO 3-1. A hyper aggressive series, by the way. Again, non-stop all-ins, German taxis 3 games in a row, and then it's herO going for a 6-gate 3-base all-in that fourth and final game. Once again, herO, he was achieving some damage, he was finding some success because Solo was so woefully underprepared for the all-in, but Solo bought time. He had some clutch transfuses, he bought enough time for his Hydras to build up, and again, what really won Solo this game was the Ling run by. Remember, it was a really bold decision, but in the middle of the all-in, he went for a big Ling counterattack. He was able to kill the gateway across the map, he broke into the natural, and he killed 20 probes. He killed every worker at that natural base, and that meant that herO couldn't reinforce. Despite being all in, despite having all these gateways, he couldn't afford to warp in 6 stalkers at a time. So the all-in was hindered, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Solo will claim the series. It's been a while since we've had a Zerg champion in anything, so, so we appreciate it. As Solar comes out on top in this week's KFC. The KFC battle. GG, well played, congratulations. Bearing in mind, of course, that this was our replay coverage of week 1, and we'll be covering week 2 next week. We'll be covering week 2 next week, but otherwise, GG, well played. Let's catch up on our schedule here. Congratulations to Solar, as we have the rest of our weekly schedule ahead of us. We just wrapped up with our Wednesday evening broadcast of KungFu Cup. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be live with some Wardy TV Monday. We have Wardy TV Monday, Thursday morning. We have the Pondcast Thursday evening. That's going to be our weekly talk show, our weekly podcast. We have the KSL on Friday. We have RSL over the weekend, and we have the Platinum StarCraft League over the weekend as well. So a very, very intense schedule here is ahead of us. For now, though, we're going to be wrapping up for the evening, and we'll be back tomorrow with some Wardy TV action. See you then. I believe that's going to be for Wardy TV Monday number 76. Let me just double check. Double checking. Yes, 76. Oh boy. Tentatively, I should say. But otherwise with that, GG will play. Congratulations to Solar, again, hyper aggressive series, which is what we expect out of Solar, to be fair. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves, hope you'll had a great time, and we are going to be wrapping up here for the evening. When it comes to our next schedule, our next broadcast, so you can see our schedule. If you want to support us in other ways, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. It is all funded via the Patreon, so you can help us grow our tournaments every single week. Likewise, you can also support us by following us on YouTube. We do stream on YouTube every single day alongside Twitch, and VODs are available instantly. So if you see something that you like here, if you missed out on Homestory Cup, or Thunderfire, or Rungy Cup, or Little League Cup, or Wardy TV Mondays, KungFu Cups, RSLs, it's all on YouTube. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. We have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, it's been a very intense couple of days here for the CranKy Ducklings, an intense week with other things happening IRL. So because of that, we've been casting a little bit less. Usually we cast like twice a day, every single day, but we do have a leaner broadcast schedule here just because of everything that's been going on. But we should be going back to normal next week. Should be back to normal. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye bye, ciao. We'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft, some more CranKy Ducklings. See you then. See you then. See you then.